The lines are good. Ooh, the shading is very good.
The juxtaposition of the contrast.
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching this show for the very first time. Let's get started.
Season 2, Episode 10, titled High Risk Behavior. It came out on January 13th, 1999, so we're in the 99s now.
Ooh.
Very exciting. Director was James Whitmore Jr., and the writer was Jenny Bix, and I was like, that sounds familiar. Did she do Sex and the City? She did write for Sex and the City, and I know that because a podcast I listen to, they do called Sex and the Cityots. They'll list off the director and writer, and whenever it's Jenny Bix, they say it's a Bix.
Huh. You know, I can see the through line from this to Sex and the City.
High risk behavior is basically like sex. Let's maybe see penises while drawing and like.
Yes, it was all about physical intimacy of varying levels between various combinations of humans.
Mm-hmm.
All of whom were, unfortunately, heterosexual.
It's fine. It was in 1999.
They tried to swerve on us. Tried to fool us in the opening scene.
Yeah, no, I know. It was jumping in, Dawson, it seems to be professing his love to Pacey in his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, really wish that was true. That would be really great.
That would be a really interesting twist. Like, as they were doing it, I was like, okay, well, like, I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't even suspend my disbelief for a moment. I was immediately like, so they're running lines probably for Dawson's script.
Yeah, I mean, the wording makes it pretty obvious. It's like really clunky.
And the dialogue is very Dawson.
Yeah, so they're reading lines, but we don't know that for sure. And then Dawson like pauses and leans in like he's maybe going to kiss Pacey, but then grabs like his script.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're just 27 years to be exact, too early for heated rivalry.
Yep. What was her first? What Bix?
Jenny Bix.
Jenny Bix. How could she have known in 1999?
Yeah, even in Sex and the City, like the gay characters are very
stereotypical.
Yeah, one-dimensional.
Yes. Yeah. They're the gay best friend.
Yeah.
The fabulous friend. Actually, this is a podcast idea. So, you know that there's Queer Eye Now through Netflix, which has now fallen apart for whatever reason, has ended. I think it would be really fascinating to compare that to the original incarnation of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which was from, I don't know, around the year 2000. Mm-hmm. And the different ways that the characters play into stereotypes and sort of perform the roles that were acceptable at the time or that were expected at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that would be interesting. I never really watched that. I do remember watching What Not to Wear, which is basically like, hey, overweight, frumpy lady, maybe if you just dress nicer, the world will be nicer to you.
Yeah. Why change the world when you could just look better? But, okay, I don't know if you remember this show, but Carson Kressley, who was like one of the breakout stars of the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, he then had his own show, probably on the same network, called How to Look Good Naked.
I remember the name of that, but I don't know if I ever saw that.
So it was about women who were, embarrassed by their bodies and didn't feel sexy and didn't think they looked good naked. And he would, like, make them feel better. He would do, like, a lineup of comparisons and, like, be like, how big do you think your hips are? And show them that they have like body dysmorphia. And
Yeah.
then I think the end result was usually them doing some kind of boudoir photo shoot. Carson Kressley, he's more than just a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
He has his own backstory, separate from RuPaul.
Yep. But anyway, Pacey and Dawson are not gay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, we've just dropped the part about Pacey calling his brother gay.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen his brother in forever.
Yeah, exactly. that it just brought it up back in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, remember when Pacey kept insisting that his brother was gay, and his brother's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. I know, they sometimes drop things in the show, and then maybe they pick it up later. Like, I was like, where's Betsy? She's just not around.
Wait, remind me who Betsy is.
The...
Oh, Bessie.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I thought you
Betsy.
said Betsy. I was like, wait, who's Betsy? But no, Bessie. Okay, I remember. Joey's sister, Bessie, who had a baby recently, and also the father of the baby. We don't know whatever happened to him.
Joey might as well live alone right now.
Yeah.
Like that. Anyway. Okay, so yeah. They're talking about Dawson's script. Pacey is criticizing his script, and then he's like, well, this is clearly about Joey. And Dawson's like, no, it's not.
And we, as the audience, are like, yes, it is.
Yeah, and then Pacey's like, also, why don't they have sex? These characters don't hook up. And Dawson says the edgier choice is for them to not have sex.
Yeah. Yeah. We can rationalize a lot of choices. We can rationalize all kinds of things. Although this did bring up, this is a very common thing in storytelling, in songwriting, in novel writing, and I'm sure in screenwriting, is how so often the writer or even the director, they are telling their own story through fiction. Like, they're telling a version of their own story. Even I've done that where I'm like writing fiction and like I'm like, this is fiction. There are these parts that I can identify with. There's this kind of like veiled vulnerability to it.
Yeah, and it starts to get meta when you think about it too much.
Yeah.
Like, Dawson is probably Kevin Williamson in some way. And yeah, writers like to write about themselves.
Yep. And then pretend that we're not, because then it's less narcissistic. I don't know.
But it is like, go with what you know. Go with your like point of view in life.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, it's very difficult to write a character that is completely different from you.
Yeah, that is something I have definitely struggled with, is like writing characters making decisions that I know I would never make in a million years. Because like when I think through it logically, I want it to be realistic. So I'm thinking through the logic of how they would make the decision. And the only logic I truly know is my own. So I was like, well, obviously they wouldn't do that, but characters do stupid things, or things that I would not do.
So that's it. We're just left disappointed, but Dawson at least got some notes from Pacey. And then we're at school and we're finding out that Jen is helping Dawson get the word out for auditions for his movie. And she mentions that she's a first-time producer, so I guess she's kind of taking the place of what Joey did. And she actually makes that observation. She's like, well, I'm no Joey.
Yeah, poor Jen is like very cognizant of where she exists in Dawson's life, and to her credit, she doesn't just like shut everything down and be like, no, I won't be your second string Joey. But it's like, yeah, she knows.
Yeah. So while they're talking about, who they're going to try to get to audition for the roles, Dawson like points out a guy across the way who he thinks would be a great leading man. And then Jen says something that I love, and I every time I hear it, I'm like, I gotta use that more. She says, he's as sexy as a bucket.
And the thing is, the guy is like so clearly a Dawson avatar. He's like just like a different kind of handsome, but in a big baggy sweater with like droopy hair.
Yeah, and I was thinking this might be related to the casting of Dawson because apparently when they were casting for this show, the character that they struggled the longest to find an actor for was Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, Kevin Williamson was on board with James Van Der Beek
Mm-hmm.
to play the role, but I guess other executives were not sure. And then Kevin Williamson was like, "This is the guy. This is him.
Mm-hmm.
This is him. Stop wondering. Stop questioning."
Yeah. Yeah. That's if you've ever had an executive in your workplace demand something that makes no sense, but you all have to do it for no reason. That's how the worst choices in movies and TV get made. It's some executive had an idea.
Mhm. Yeah, Jen starts making the argument of like girls want to be into like someone who's brooding, someone who seems like not on the surface what they seem, that like sexy is always better than nice.
And she points out some guy with like a high school mustache and a leather jacket.
Who's not blonde.
Oh yeah, not blonde. He's tall, dark, and handsome?
Yeah, sure. And she mentions not everyone wants a Tom Hanks type.
That's true. Tom Hanks is a good example because he was so huge for so long, but he is not the guy you choose to be a bad boy or much of a brooding character.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Dawson's getting it on all ends, getting critiqued about his choices for his movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we're in the school hall. Pacey comes up to Andie at her locker and like shows her his HIV test that he tested negative for.
Yeah, I thought he was going to show her like, look, I got a B+ on a test. That's truly where I thought it was going, and just to so casually be like, got myself HIV tested negative, which I think's a positive.
Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to be like, hey kids, getting tested for STDs is cool.
It is. It was a little, I don't know. Because on the one hand, you don't want to make it big and scary so that people don't do it, but Pacey didn't seem to get the gravity of HIV in 1999. It's a very different disease to live with today. They've come so far, but just Pacey didn't seem to take HIV seriously.
Yeah, which I thought of that too when I was watching this. I was like, man, we never really had that like final celebration acknowledgement that like AIDS is not like as much of a thing, significantly not as much of a thing as long as people have access to like healthcare and medicine.
Yeah.
I think it kind of happened during the pandemic and everyone was like, "Oh, you guys like stopped HIV from turning to AIDS and even like reduced the spread of HIV to begin with. That's cool. I'm trying not to die from COVID. I don't really care about that."
Yeah, that's amazing that we've come so far in that respect, because it truly, like, in the 80s, it was just like, we don't know what it is, we don't know how it happens, and the government doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Ronald Reagan actively hates you all.
Yeah. So I think also part of maybe why he is not taking it that seriously is I don't know if he thought there was a chance it would come back positive. Like, as far as we know, he's only slept with Tamara, which, I mean, who knows what her situation might be, but
yeah,
the odds were probably low.
Yeah, the odds were low, and then it made me immediately think, like, oh, if he's doing that, that's presumably because there is some interest in them being intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Andie positioned it as just, you have to get tested
Yeah.
for your health.
Yeah, Andie told him to get it, but then when he's like, "Hey, I actually did it," she's like, "Oh, okay. That doesn't mean anything though. Doesn't mean that's gonna cause anything to happen."
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have this back and forth. He's like, "Well, I thought you wanted me to do it for the possibility," and he's like, "You that was the reason, right?" And then she's kind of like, "I don't know. What about you? Do you want to have sex?"
Yeah, it's very like, well, what do you think?
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just like they come to the conclusion of like, "Oh, I guess there's no need to rush this, but yay,
Yeah.
clean bill of health."
Yeah, they were just so surprisingly reasonable about the whole thing. They were like, "Oh, that's good to know that you don't have HIV, and well, we don't have to immediately have sex, but like that's something one less thing to worry about."
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Dawson runs into Joey, who's sitting at like a picnic bench doing some figure drawing, and Dawson's like, "You actually like went to a class where there was a naked guy in front of you and you just drew him and you didn't like feel weird about it, you didn't blush." And she's like at first like, "No, I was totally cool about it." And then
Hmm.
she's like, "Okay, yeah, I did break like 12 pencils."
Yeah. I mean, she's 15 or 16. That would be a very nerve-wracking situation for like a 15 or 16-year-old girl.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I'd even feel weird about it now.
Yeah, I think I'd feel weird about it at first, and then, once you got. Not that I've done any like figure drawing classes, but
Yeah. I had friends in college who were doing art as their major, and so that was like a normal occurrence for them.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think it'd be interesting to be the model for that.
Hmm.
I think I would have trouble just sitting still more than anything.
Yeah, and we'll get back to poses later, but that's very important when you're sitting for an artist.
Yeah, like I think you're allowed to move a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like if my only task is to sit still, that's when I'm going to be itchy and like
Yeah, exactly.
distracted. Anyway, Joey learns that Jen is acting as the producer in this film, and it feels a little awkward between her and Dawson, but like kind of ends up being all good, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems like kind of for the first time they're reckoning with like, oh, we're both artists. We just do different things, and now you have to do this more on your own, Dawson, because Joey's focusing on her thing.
Yeah. It's the first time where it's like, "Hey, I'm doing this. What are you doing?" "Oh, cool, you're doing that." We're doing different things.
We sure are.
Next, we're with Chris and Abby, and they're talking about auditioning for Dawson's movie.
Why would you? Why are these people here? Why do we continue to engage them? Why? Why? And Chris is like, come on, it could be good exposure to like go to Hollywood or something. And then Abby just makes fun of him because that's all she knows how to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris seems like that would be kind of his dream job, is just getting a lot of attention. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I do feel like these characters are just doom and gloom and troublemakers, and it feels like they come in when they're needed, and then when they're not, they just disappear, which I guess that happens with a couple different characters in this show. I mean, once again with Bessie and who else were we talking
Gen's
about?
ex.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. People coming and going. We haven't seen Grams in a minute too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not at all uncommon. Is like sometimes a character just exists to cause problems.
Yeah. But it is like, this person's the worst. They're not even complex. They're just the worst.
There's just no redeeming value to these two.
Yeah. All right, so then Jack catches Joey drawn, and he's giving her compliments and seems really animated about what she's doing. And then he knocks his coffee all over her drawing, and then like tries to clean it up by like spreading it around.
Yeah. Before he spills his drink on it, he's giving the level of commentary that's like, you know some terms, but like you're saying the lines are good. Ooh, the shading is very good.
The juxtaposition of the contrast.
Yeah.
Juxtaposition is a key word in design.
Oh, it's big in literature too.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition. Yeah, and it's just like, come on, Jack. And, as the episode goes on, I see why this had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, this is dumb. And he just knocked his drink over.
Yeah. It couldn't be like she just lost the drawing or something. Like, no, he has to be at fault for it.
Yeah.
For it being destroyed.
Yeah.
Joey's like, oh no.
Yeah, Joey's like, just like kind of at a loss. Because, like, what else are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Then we move on to auditions?
Yeah, the montage of auditions.
Which, at the beginning, aren't that bad.
Yeah.
They're just people saying the lines in, like, various intonations. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Then it gets, like, weird and bad.
Yeah. They're exaggerating it. They're making it seem like they've been there for hours hearing the same lines over and over again. And it's like, these are high schoolers. They're not going to do amazing.
Yeah, and they presumably got the script today.
That too. Okay, so Jack comes back around to Joey and is apologizing for ruining her drawing. And she's like, he was suggesting, like, can't you just, like, draw it from memory? And she's like, no, how would I do that? How would I redraw it? And I'm like, I mean, you just need the approximate build of the person who was there modeling. I don't think people are going to notice slight variations, but that's just me.
But it is it's much harder to get that first draft out, and then by the time she was at the picnic table and Jack came over, she was putting, like, finishing touches on it. So the hardest part was over, so now she essentially has to do the hard part again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But her reasoning is that she can't do it from memory. She would need a model.
And that's when Jack is like, okay, I'll do it. I'll be your model.
And she's like, no,
I don't think so. And yeah, she's being really nervous, and he's like, what? It's not that weird. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's the one who's trying to convince her that it's okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, then I'll see you later, and I'll pose for you. And then he presumably goes off to, like, I don't know, shave and practice poses or something. Like,
or, like, go to geography class. One or the other.
Well, later when they show him in the towel, I was like, he does not have a single hair on his chest. Like, I mean, I guess he's supposed to be a teenage boy. I don't know.
And
anyway.
Some people don't have a lot of hair. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe he did. Maybe he shaved all over. Like he was an 11-year-old girl going to a One Direction concert.
He was doing his everything shower.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at the pharmacy with Andie, who is picking up medication, and Pacey runs into her there, and she immediately is very nervous and very much just, like, trying to get away from him or, like, just hide the bag of drugs.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, girl, you don't have to, it's just a medication, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but also, like, Pacey pulls it out like it's gonna be something fun. I'm like, it's from the pharmacy. What do you think it's gonna be?
That's true. Like, whenever I go to the pharmacy to pick up my antidepressants, I'm just like, I don't get anything fun from you people. Nothing that I could even, like, sell in an alley. No one's buying the Prozac off me.
Okay, yeah, but I was gonna get to it. She's taken Xanax.
And you can sell that.
She's got that good.
Which, like, it was almost like, oh, and that's a relatively well-known thing. Don't just have the,
Yeah.
You're not ready. You're not ready to talk to him about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure it's hers, but she uses the excuse that her mom has, like, the same name as her, and it's her mom's.
Yeah.
And so then they turn around and they're, like, right next to the condom wall.
And they're like, should we get some?
Yeah, I'm not afraid. Are you afraid? No, let's just buy some. And then Pacey was like shocked that Andie would be okay with buying some condoms. And she's like, "Well, yeah, in case we need them." And I was like, "Yeah, that's really normal."
Yeah, that's what you should do. You should better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them.
Mhm. And this was before Plan B, I think. Definitely before TaskRabbit, or you could get someone to go get you condoms.
Yeah. I remember, and the friends will remain nameless. But I remember one friend came over and he was going to hook up with another friend, and they realized they didn't have condoms. And if I remember correctly, the male friend just left our apartment and went to get condoms at 7-Eleven, which was like almost a mile away. So he like power walked a mile there and a mile back. He says, safety, kids.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris and Abby apparently are auditioning for the movie. And at some point, Chris is like, "So why don't these characters hook up?"
Yeah.
And Dawson feels like he has to explain his thought process. And Chris is like, "Yeah, that's dumb. You don't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense."
Yeah. And I see the path Dawson is going down of like, sometimes it does feel, in storytelling, it does feel like there's an obvious choice and you're like hesitant. You either go that route because part of what you want to do is satisfy the audience's expectations or satisfy their sense of completion of something. But you also, when something seems obvious, you don't want to do it. Also, Dawson's insecure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Chris and Abby are like, at first I'm like, oh no, are they going to be really good? Because they were like getting through the lines perfectly fine.
But yeah, I think they just did not understand the material. And then Chris also like is way too forceful about kissing Abby for the kissing scene.
Yeah, she mad.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going." Let's see. We're back with Andie, and she's talking to Pacey about how she wants her first time to be special.
Yes. She has like a whole itinerary.
Yeah. She's like, a dinner at a French restaurant, a stroll on the dock,
Naturally, the docks.
a night at a bed and breakfast. Oh, and then she also says, some Sinatra and some lavender candles. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, would not do it for me, but okay.
yeah. Few things are less sexy to me than Frank Sinatra. Like, I know he's considered a classic, but I don't like it.
Is it too like white hetero man vibe?
Yes.
Or just too old?
It's
Cheesy?
It's very, it's cheesy. I don't care for that style of singing. And also, wasn't Frank Sinatra like a notorious dick?
I have no idea, but that would track.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andie's just like, I want it to be memorable.
Okay.
I'm like, I think it's going to be memorable regardless, but okay.
Yeah.
And then Pacey, I don't know how he says it, but he's like, "So can that be me? Can I
Yeah.
be a part of the memory?"
Yeah, he basically says to her, like, I'd like to be your first time. Which
Hmm.
was, like, pretty sweet.
Yeah, and he doesn't shit on her like dream evening.
Yeah, he reins himself in and has been like, okay. Well, if and when that happens, I would love to be the person.
Yeah. Then we are back with Dawson and Jen, and Dawson is complaining about the auditions and how bad they were. And Jen says, I guess they start talking about what he wrote, like the story
Yeah.
itself, and Jen says that the story is basically him and Joey, and he's like, "No, it's not." And then
Yeah. I mean, and all we know of the story is that all we've heard is the part where the friend confesses his love after knowing someone for 15 years. It's
yeah,
like,
basically.
yeah, it's Joey.
Mhm. Yeah, Jen's like, it reads like an autobiography. And then Jen starts being insecure and she's like, I thought I mattered, but I didn't even get past the first act. Like my character doesn't even.
Yeah. I mean, she does. Yeah, the part that like stuck out to me was when she asks him like, "What do you like about me?"
Yeah.
Which is like kind of it's like a sincere and vulnerable question to ask someone.
Mhm.
And Dawson like doesn't completely biff it, but he doesn't nail it.
Yeah, he first says, "We had fun."
Yeah. He's like, "You draw things out of me and I liked skinny dipping." He doesn't nail it.
No. But he's like, "You were sexy." And then she's like, "Were?" And he's like, "Are." And then she's like, "So I think your characters should do it." And he, goes off and says, "No, it's about romance. It's not about sex." And I don't know why, but it made me think about Bridgerton. I made you watch like the first season. And so like that show is like the definition of pining.
Mhm.
It's like an almost to the point of ridiculous annoyance where it's just like, come on.
Let's get to it. But it's also an example of how the romance goes hand in hand and enhances the sex, and that the sex is an inherent part of the romance.
Yeah, because when they finally hook up, I'm like, finally,
Yeah.
yeah, get it.
Yeah, it makes the payoff so much bigger.
Hmm. And Dawson keeps saying, he's like, I just want to pick the less obvious choice. And she's like, well, maybe if you weren't using the obvious girl, your script would not be so obvious.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if that was like a legitimate criticism or just like Jen being kind of hurt that it's about Joey.
Yeah, to me, it sounded like she was just like, well, maybe if you'd picked better, like me.
Yeah.
So, next, Jack is at Joey's. He's bare chest in a towel in her living room, like
Mhm.
wrapped a towel around his waist. I
Yeah.
should specify.
And no one is at Joey's house because she lives alone, apparently.
Apparently, Joey is like setting up everything she needs, her easel, like all her materials, and she's just like actively trying to not make eye contact with Jack.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I could like leave the towel on for a little bit and see how it goes." And she's like, "Oh no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And then they start getting ready and he's about to take the towel off and she's like, "Wait, maybe leave the towel on."
You know, just to start. Yeah, and they have this sort of like awkward start stop conversation, and it's just clear that like talking isn't gonna make this less weird.
Yeah, so we cut to like he's on the couch posing and he says, "This is kind of like the Titanic."
Yeah.
Except he's Rose and she's Jack.
Yeah, and he says he likes the role reversal. But I did need to point out that that was not a comfortable pose for Jack to pick up on like one arm like that. Like,
Yeah, no.
yeah, I don't one of the random reality shows I've watched was a body painting reality show, and they run into a lot of like that pose is not sustainable for your model, and yeah, that was a clear one where it'd be like, you can't hold that for 4 hours.
Yeah, and also it just was like a very awkward pose.
Yeah.
He's kind of like curled up, but I guess, I don't know, maybe he's feeling insecure.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make small talk to make it less weird. He's like, well, we'll be pretty comfortable with each other after tonight.
Which seems to make Joey more uncomfortable.
Yeah, she starts like thinking about backing out. She's like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do this assignment.
Yeah.
And she's like kind of starting to pack up her things, like put away her stuff, and she knocks over her easel, and Jack jumps up to like help catch it, but then his towel falls down, and Joey makes direct eye contact with his peener, and
Okay.
she makes direct eye contact. There's a pause, and then she looks away.
And he's like, well, I might as well stay now.
Yeah. So he's back in the position. She's drawing him. Everything's out because everything's been seen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack asks her, how's it looking? And then she's like, it? I'm like, girl, one track mind.
Gosh, yeah.
And they start having like this weird conversation where like I guess Jack is asking her about like how she feels about having this new like interest in art and like taking all these art classes, and she says that it feels nice for her to have something that's like for herself, and that she feels like her life can just be kind of plain and boring, and um that she gets to take chances doing art. Like it's not something that has like an immediate reward or like an immediate need, which I think she has functioned off of that like her whole life. Like, I have to get good grades so I can go to college. I have to work my job so we can afford food and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about taking risks and taking chances, and they start talking about like what makes them scared.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey asks Jack what scares you, and then he says sex, and I'm like, you're just making it weirder again.
They talk about feeling like her life is like plain and boring, and I could kind of relate to that in some ways. Like sometimes I listen to stories about people and I'm just like, oh wow, there's a lot of drama in your life, and like while I don't want that, there is a feeling of like, I don't have any crazy story to tell you. Like my life is not.
Yeah, I feel the same. There's just not a lot of opportunity for crazy stuff to happen to me.
Well, and part of that is like choosing to put yourself in those situations where the opportunities are. So there's like an element of choice to it, and art can be a place where you can. I think those big exciting things might not happen to me because I don't take chances and put myself in situations where dramatic things can happen. But a type of art, whether it's drawing or writing, it sort of allows you to play out those chances and dramatic turns when you feel like not willing to take those chances in real life.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it occurred to me I have now lived alone for almost 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, not a lot happens, because what stories do I have to tell? Like, oh, I forgot to, I don't know, turn off a light in the other room. It was crazy. Like,
A possum was living in your ceiling.
well, that was fun. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I guess crazy things do happen to me without my choice sometimes.
But sometimes you talk to people who like you hear about their lives and you're just like, oh, there is just always something with you. And like, part of that is also the choices that they make.
Yeah. So Jack, I guess it comes up that Jack says he's like not a virgin, and Joey's like, oh, okay, well, like trying to play it cool, like, well, how much have you done it? And Jack pretends to count.
Yeah.
And then he's like, once. Which she seems relieved by. She would probably be the kind of person who wants like a potential love interest to have not had a lot of relationships before, just because she hasn't.
Yeah, and I could see Joey being kind of judgy.
Yeah. So Joey says, well, I haven't done it. But she starts asking him questions. She says, was it scary? And he's like, well, yeah. And then she was like, well, can you describe why it was scary? She asks him to describe it as art.
Yeah, and then Jack gives his description, and I'm like, bro, you had sex once. Like it. He gets very poetic about the whole thing, and he's referencing all these artists like that are. It shows that he is aware of art, but none of these are like deep cuts. These are, he mentions, Van
Gogh's Starry Night,
Monet, Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yes,
yeah, like big name artists, but for a high school boy, it's pretty deep.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's a jumble of emotions, and it's like, he says about this Monet's wait, no, is it Monet who did Starry Night? Van Gogh's Starry Night. There you go. He's like, you realize it's the same sky you've always seen, but everything is different.
Yeah. You see the colors differently, and he's like waxing poetic for so long, and like, and I'm like, this is so romantic to 15-year-old Joey, but to me, an adult woman watching this, knowing he's had sex one time, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, but she's really like getting into it, like seems like captivated by what he's saying, and then the phone rings, and so she kind of snaps out of it. He snaps out of it. He realizes that he's a bit excited.
Yes.
And Joey realizes that too,
and no one ever answers the phone.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, so then we're with Jen and Dawson. Jen comes out to see Dawson, who seems to be just hanging out on the dock between their houses. And let's see, Dawson says that he's lucky to have Jen. He's like having this newfound appreciation for her, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think he kind of could sense her kind of insecurity or disappointment in not being picked by him in their previous conversation.
Yeah. And he once again brings up, like, thanks for sticking with me during the bad auditions, and Jen jokes that, like, I could have played your leading lady. And then he's like, maybe you should have.
And she's like, what do you mean? Are we talking about the movie, or are we talking about us?
Yeah. So then, God, I'm getting tired of talking about it. They talk about Dawson's script more.
Yeah, I was also getting tired of talking about Dawson's script, especially since we know one thing about it.
Yeah. Dawson thinks that a story is a lot stronger if it resists lust. And then Jen says that's not real. And she's like, it's 1998. Sex is a risky choice.
Which, was that supposed to be a reference to STIs?
I don't know. I don't know if it was that or teen pregnancy or... I don't know.
I don't know, man.
This was during the time where they were like, if you have sex, you'll die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'll just burst into flames.
Yeah, when there was this surge of like evangelical Christianity being like, every kid in the 9th grade needs to pledge to stay a virgin.
So Jen argues that like sex isn't the obvious choice. It isn't always the obvious choice, and that like the intent and motive of it is how you make it interesting. And that like lust can be more interesting than love because there's so many different reasons you could lust versus, I mean, love is complex, but I feel like I do agree with her in terms of like there's so many more places to go when you're going that direction of like, you know, characters having sex maybe sooner than they should or like without overthinking it versus like agonizing over it.
Yeah, there was a lot of agonizing in this episode.
Yeah. And so she encourages him to rewrite his script.
Mm-hmm. And I guess since literally everyone has told him the same thing, maybe Dawson will rethink it.
Maybe. Okay, so now we're with Pacey and Andie, and Pacey has brought Andie to a bed and breakfast.
After their dinner at a French restaurant.
Yeah, and a walk by the docks. And Andie is realizing what is happening, and she's like, I don't know if I should be touched or terrified.
Yeah. And it was sweet how candid they both were.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I want this, but I don't. And he's like, well, I want this for you, but only if you want it, and it doesn't have to end in sex. And
yeah. And he says, like, I just wanted to give you, like, your fantasy evening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need to do it for us to have this nice evening that you've dreamt of.
Yeah, which, like, when did Pacey suddenly mature 10 years?
I don't know.
It probably, having gone through the experience of quote unquote losing his virginity and feeling like he sort of crossed that threshold, and maybe he's rethinking how it happened for him. Maybe Andie's experience and Andie's fantasy is sort of a way for him to maybe revisit that, or hopefully make it better for Andie than it was for him, or make it more meaningful or memorable in some way. So there's probably obviously he's doing it because he cares about Andie and wants her to have this experience, but he probably also can appreciate the thought she's put into it and the experience because he's had it already.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. But yeah, Andie seems like she's not ready. She's like, I don't think I'm ready. And there's so much going on that you don't know about. And I was like,
it's like, honey,
Pacey doesn't ask about that. There's no follow-up questions.
Yeah, honey, it's oh gosh, girl, it's just Xanax. I know this episode is released in 1999 and we've come a long way and I've been on antidepressants for a long time, but like, girl, it's okay. You're not lying to him. You're not keeping some big scary secret.
Yeah. Anyway, so she kind of starts spiraling a little bit, just feeling like he might be disappointed or upset with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like, no, I'm not mad at you at all. And he's like, you know, you don't know how much you've done for me, and that like you make me feel like there's hope for myself and my future. And yeah, he's saying all these really nice things, and he's saying that, you know, he's like very lucky to have her in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you kind of make me want to do it.
And then they cut away and I was like, that line read wasn't decisive enough for it to make sense in my mind that now they're going to do it. Yeah. So I was like, I hope we cut back to them eventually because I am unclear.
Yeah. So Then we're back with Dawson. He's alone in his room and he's working on his script, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And while he does this, he pauses and he pulls out like a photo of Joey that's been like face down for who knows how long.
Yeah. A framed
And
photo of
he,
Joey.
yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, I don't want to say it's like a headshot, but it's a very nice, interesting, angled photo
Mm-hmm.
of her. And yeah, he puts it back like upright on his bedstand.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think that means? Like, I'll let you go first.
I think I'm not sure, because I guess where my mind was at was more thinking about Dawson and Jen's relationship. But I think maybe the turning up of the picture could be a sort of like acknowledgement that, like, okay, I'm past the point where I just can't even look at her. I'm beyond that
Mhm.
point of like the heartbreak. And maybe he's at the point where he can appreciate the relationship that they had, or it's just not as painful, or maybe he's even ready to move on to someone else. So that
Mhm.
was sort of, it sort of felt like he had been in this repressive denial, where it's like, no, the characters never have sex and it's fine. um in a similar way that he was in this repressive denial about like looking at Joey's picture, and he
Mhm.
was like, it's kind of turning towards reality. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's way more eloquent than I was going to say, but I agree. Okay, so now we're back with Jack and Joey, and Jack apologizes for his excitement, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. And
He just loves art.
yeah, it was the
It
art.
was all the art.
Mhm. And he asks her if this is like going to mess things up, and she's like, "No, no, it was my fault for asking you to
Describe
tell me."
sex.
Yeah. And she's like, tonight was a big night for me. It was a big step in the life of little Joey Potter. And I was like, seeing a penis?
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you're that
Yeah.
young, like, people do keep track of those, like, kinds of, like, the first time this, the first time this.
Yeah. And I think just as much as she likes to pretend like she's not easily freaked out by things, like, I think she's proud of herself for handling it as, like, grown up as she did.
Yeah, she was able to do the drawing. And now
Yeah.
they're able to have a conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, Jack is like, well, if you ever want to explore your curiosity, I'm available.
Yeah. And then they kiss.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he he said like, "Oh, I didn't realize how much I wanted to hold you, and that the even though it's a night of first, there's no reason to stop."
Yeah.
And then they start making out.
Yeah. Jack likes to spin a yarn. He's a poetic dude.
Yeah. So, then we find Dawson climbing into Jen's bedroom,
Yeah.
and
Through her window.
Yeah, come through
My
my window.
window. Gosh, we need to do a compilation of us, like, high pitched singing.
All our bad, out of time singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jen is like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I've been thinking a lot about what you said." And then he kisses her, and he's like, "Don't ask my motive." And she's like, "I know better." And then they keep making out.
And it's like, okay. It's sort of like them agreeing, we don't know what we want or what this means, but we want to do it right now.
Yeah, they really just needed to get it in at the end of like, everyone needs to end this episode making out.
Yeah.
And so we just need to be like, they're making out because they're just Being silly.
Because they're, sometimes you just lust.
Yep. So, yeah, we cut back to Andie and Pacey, and they're making out on the bed, so maybe they were getting to doing.
Maybe they were moving towards the destination
Mm-hmm.
or embarking on the journey. I don't know what euphemisms we want to use.
Yeah, but then Pacey stops the journey,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I think we're not ready. And she's like, no, maybe I am ready.
Yeah, maybe I do want this, which is a good sign that you don't affirmatively want it.
Yeah, so probably the right call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says, he's like, the risky thing for me right now is to not do it because then I'd have to admit that I have a real relationship. And then I just wrote, he's Dawson now.
Yeah. He has, swapped with Dawson. Which, it's funny because, for Pacey, that does seem... I almost believe it, of him being, slowing down and not just being impulsive about it does show a level of care and, forethought that maybe Pacey needs to develop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the only previous experience he has was with a woman twice his age who had a lot more control over the situation than Andie does.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting because he was in a very strange power dynamic his first time and with his first physical relationship, and this is a very, very different dynamic.
Yeah. But anyway, so the episode ends with all of them making out.
Mm-hmm. And Pacey didn't they go outside and walk to his car?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, they decide not to do it.
Yeah.
They leave the bed and breakfast and
yeah.
he presumably takes her home.
Yeah. And it was interesting because it seems like Pacey cares more about this instance of sex because it's her first. It's it was just him seemingly caring a great deal about her experience and putting his sort of immediate urges second.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sweet.
Yeah. We spent a whole episode talking about sex, and no one ended up having sex as far as we know.
As far as we know. We weren't in every room of that bed and breakfast. Well, it brings us to the question. Whose creek is it?
I'm kind of leaning towards Joey, or Dawson. I don't know. Who do you think?
I think I'm gonna go. It was Jack's creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly because the two most scandalous and emotion-inducing instances, the spilling of the drink on the art and the nude modeling / excitement involved him. I don't know, it wasn't like he was a clear front runner. It was just those things sort of he stuck out as sort of an active participant in my mind.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of feel like this one, it needs to be graded on by couple.
Yeah.
Is it Jen and Dawson's creek? Is it Jack and Joey's creek? Is it Pacey and Andie's creek?
Yeah, I sort of feel like they're all in little rowboats in the creek together. Yeah, there wasn't really one person that kind of ran away with it for me.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd probably have to go with
Follow your heart.
I'm torn between Jack or Joey, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I could see both.
I do agree with you that Jack is the momentum in their story.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think I could go with Jack. Yeah.
I'm not sure if are you hearing every meow?
Oh yeah,
okay.
I'm hearing he's getting sassy.
He is so sassy. Listen, buddy, you can't be meowing your head off when we move into a new apartment. We would like to not get in trouble. You're not that loud. It's fine. Whatever, dude.
He needs to meow for emotional support for you.
Yeah. Just for the record, the concept of pet rent is utter bullshit.
Yeah. Like, fine, if you want to give me a higher security deposit.
Yeah, refundable
Sure.
security deposit. Because
Yeah.
another thing they're doing is just non-refundable deposit, just a fee. Give us $500 so that you can have your pet. We won't give it back.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy.
As someone who likes animals more than kids,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then people should start paying rent for their children.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a clear front runner, but yeah, I feel like Jack is a solid choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, next episode is season 2, episode 11, Sex, She Wrote. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. It's something about making it to episode 10 of season 2. We've made it far.
Yeah. The time just goes.
It certainly does. We're coming up on almost a year of doing this podcast.
Has it been almost a year?
Well, if there were 13 episodes in Oh wait, no, never mind. Almost half a year.
Okay.
But sometimes
We were doing them weekly for a little bit before we realized that was not sustainable.
All right. We're getting closer to we've been doing it a while.
Yeah.